Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Suave Midnight. Last time we talked about the first of the fallen, Lucifer the Morning Star. Now we're going to go into, if you were playing the game, these are the spiritual beings that you would be playing as if you were playing a game of Demon the Fallen. These are very interesting creatures, so let's get into it. Demons are the main characters and titular supernatural creatures of Demon the Fallen. They are fallen angels who chose to side with Lucifer and humanity rather than with God in the first days of creation. As punishment for their rebellion and disloyalty, the Archangel Michael casts these angels out of heaven and into the abyss. Many, especially those who fear or revile them, refer to them as the fallen or the damned. So as we spoke in the last video, you already know that the Elohim were responsible for the creation of everything, including humanity. However, God had special orders for them. The Elohim were to watch over humans, but never directly interfere with them. The war in heaven began when an angel named Al-Ramal, one of the Nibiru, foresaw a disaster in the future, a disaster which God had either directly orchestrated or would allow to happen. The angels debated whether or not to act against God in order to prevent this disaster. Many argued that it would be safer to do nothing because their action could potentially actually be the cause of the disaster. However, the angel Lucifer was the first to make a conclusive decision in favor of rebellion, and he became the leader of the rebel angels. 1/3 of the angels sided with Lucifer and tried to prepare humanity for the impending catastrophe by accelerating its development. These fallen revealed themselves to humanity in order to bring them the light of knowledge and awareness. Interesting parallel there with the ancient Greek Prometheus legend. In doing so, they incurred the wrath of God, who had given humanity the potential to be aware of the world, the good and evil, but yet had not intended man to have this kind of awareness yet. The first humans, Adam and Eve, had been given gifts that they could not use due to their initial innocence. You know, a child is happy because he's unaware, ignorance is bliss. And the game's Adam and Eve are portrayed as having had only rudimentary knowledge and awareness, solely concerned with their survival. During the war that followed, the sin of Cain taught the fallen how to kill, and from this, many grew twisted and evil. For this transgression against the Creator's wishes, the fallen were cast out from heaven and creation was devastated. After a lengthy and increasingly atrocious war with the loyalist Elohim over the fate of humanity, the fallen were finally defeated when the Babel project failed. I wish I could go into more detail on that right now, but the link is broken. I'll try to find something on that, and maybe I'll do a video on the Babel project right after this one. And severed the link between the fallen and humans. The defeated and former Elohim were cast into the abyss and lingered there for untold aeons. In the end, Al-Ramal's vision came true. By abandoning God and misleading humanity, the rebel Elohim actually caused it to become a shade of what it was meant to be. Then, as we talked about in the last video, the walls of the abyss cracked during the sixth great maelstrom, which is basically like an astral storm that just completely fucked everything up. And the fallen started escaping back to the material world. Now, let's go into the nature of these beings, especially the ones that the player characters play as. As spiritual beings, the fallen need an anchor to the physical world if they wish to remain there. To continue existing, a demon must find a suitable host for itself. Bodies with weak souls, for example. Comatose patients, severe drug addicts, suicidal people, insane people. The demon severs the weakened soul from the body and takes its place inside the host, merging with the host's memories and emotions, and continues existence on Earth to follow its own personal agenda. While the mortal body provides the fallen with a shield against the full memory of their torment in hell, they are sometimes hindered by the memories and feelings that the mortal soul left behind. Those who take a soulless human host become the true fallen, while those whose existence has greatly degraded that they can only reside in inanimate objects become the earthbound. A human host has the disadvantage of being unable to hold all the fallen's memories, and only allows a trickle of power compared to what the fallen used to be able to accomplish. On the upside, however, the lingering memories and values of some hosts can restore the fallen to some semblance of sanity and help them restore and nourish their faith after long imprisonment. That kind of sounds similar to the humanity system from Vampire the Masquerade. As their mortal hosts are already possessed in a manner of speaking, it is almost impossible for a fallen's host to be possessed by another. However, especially strong acts of will may be able to push a demon out, in which case they must find another host or be returned to the abyss. Once possessing a vessel, demons endow their hosts with demonic physiology. This gives them subtle abilities that give them advantages over humans. They may soak lethal damage, just like a vampire, with their stamina, and they may also use faith to heal lethal and bashing damage. Sources of aggravated damage are rare, but when encountered may not be healed by faith. Interesting. Aggravated damage's sources include another demon's claws and certain artifacts, evocations, and items. Demons with high torment can also take lethal damage from holy ground and sacred relics. Let me go into torment really quick. Torment is a karmic measuring system in Demon the Fallen. It's the measure of how much pain and anguish a demon carries and also how monstrous or wicked they have become. It measures the strength of their bond with hell compared to their bond with their former selves. Torment is the mindless hate and rage that these fallen have possessed since their fall into hell. Vile or selfish deeds and using the powers of their dark side increases a demon's torment, while good or selfless deeds can potentially lower it. It is infinitely easier to gain torment than to lose it, and even a medium torment score may render good deeds effectively futile, as the demon's cynicism, contempt, resentment, and suffering robs them of their meaning. The torment of the fallen was historically increased 1,000-fold when the two greatest things they loved, God and humanity, rejected them and consigned them to the abyss. Torment has a permanent and temporary rating. The temporary rating increases or falls through bad or good deeds, but doesn't affect the demon otherwise. As soon as the temporary rating reaches 10, however, it is converted into 1 point of permanent torment. The permanent torment score is used to determine whether lore evocations spin out of control, or whether demons' apocalyptic forms appear beautiful or monstrous. And apocalyptic form is basically when the fallen bring forth their angelic. They can only do it for a moment because their power is waned, but they can bring forth their angelic appearance, or demonic rather, appearance for a short amount of time. Additionally, demons with high permanent torment cannot enter holy ground, and they become very vulnerable to true faith, and they scare away animals through their presence. While low torment demons may approach even the fiercest predator without fear of attack, and may enter holy ground and touch religious icons without discomfort. If demon characters reach a permanent torment of 10, they are consumed by their darker natures, their mortal body cannot hold their soul, and they either become earthbound or fall back into hell. Okay, that was a lot of information all at once. All fallen are gifted with an apocalyptic form, like I said, or a visage that grants certain innate abilities. In addition, demons have powers known as lores, which can reflect what the fallen's house in heaven was before they rebelled. A fallen's primary lore will always coincide with their visage. In addition, a demon may never take a secondary lore rating higher than their primary lore, though it can be equivalent. The fallen also have another advantage that comes from their former divine nature. All fallen are immune to all forms of mind control, including supernatural ones. Vampiric disciplines, that kind of thing. As a side effect, this also makes it easy for a fallen to discern any illusionary or concealing effects. Faith is the way that demons power many of their abilities. As Elohim, they had endless amounts of faith to manipulate. Most fallen now have to harvest faith from willing humans by forming pacts or cults. By using faith in excessive amounts, however, a fallen risks revelation and making themselves a target for mortal demon hunters and enemy fallen. The opposite of faith is torment. Just as we talked, demon accumulates torment through sinful acts, such as going against personal beliefs. Yeah, we already talked about that. Too much torment will taint any attempts. Yeah. Fallen can also willingly call on the tormented form of a lore, which can in turn increase torment. A fallen with a torment rating of 0 may or may not be possible. It's up to the game master. But if it is achieved, rules provided for playing an angel are also available in one of the rulebooks. Interesting, a little tidbit here. Demons can have 3 names: the name they give their human form, the celestial name, which is what other demons tend to know them as, and their true name, which is abstract and utterly unspeakable by mortal tongues. Some fallen go so far as to shed their mortal name when they gain enough power and memory to reestablish their fallen identity. Now I'm going to go in really quickly about what their relationships are with the other creatures in World of Darkness. Despite being similarly condemned by God, the vast majority of the children of Cain want very little to do with the forces of hell. Many fear to offend God who curse their dark father, while others are simply too proud or smart to align with demons. In all major sects and clans, infernalism is a major crime, punishable by final death. The Sabbat consider it to be a heinous crime. To bow to a demon is the same as bowing to an ancient. But in the shadows, some vampires are convinced that they are damned and monsters, getting tempted to walk a darker path than even the average horror that a vampire endures. Some secretly follow the path of evil revelations, abandoning their humanity in devotion to the forces of darkness. Some Sabbat and other vampires practice the discipline of dark thaumaturgy, turning to demons for power, becoming in effect thralls. The Baali are an ancient bloodline of infernalists who still strive in the final nights. The Baali practice the demonic discipline of daimonion? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. In the service of these demons. Most vampires ruthlessly persecute this clan, for obvious reasons, and they must hide in secret unless they wish to risk final death. Still, many kindred are tempted by demonic powers, particularly those who feel that since they are already damned, they have nothing to lose if they align with demons. However, a number of kindred actively take up the fight against such creatures. The Sabbat Inquisition hunts and destroys infernalists wherever they can. The Salubri, particularly the warrior Salubri, in the medieval ages were renowned as demon hunters. Werewolves. Being soldiers in the war against the worm, which is like basically the spiritual personification of destruction and chaos, werewolves are absolutely hostile to demons and their servants. The only infernalist werewolves are the Black Spiral Dancers, although their loyalty is to the worm, not the fallen. The Black Spiral Dancers are basically like a corrupted, inverted version of werewolves. And then of course angels, although angels in origin, the Elohim no longer acknowledge the fallen as their own out of contempt. And then we come to humans, just regular ass people who are walking around. Most humans believe that demons are evil spirits who possess people and act as tormentors in hell. These beliefs are due to the strong influence of religion on human society, particularly the religions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all of which condemn demons. Despite the stigma against demons, some humans willingly serve them. Most of them are Satanists, who worship religion-based interpretations of demons. Others, known as thralls, serve actual demons. Many thralls are seduced by demons who provide them with gifts of health and earthly wealth. Because of this, most thralls come from individuals who are experiencing severe difficulties in their life, such as physical disability, financial trouble, poor relationships, and emotional insecurity or despondency. The relationship between demons and their thralls varies, but I'm guessing on a whole it's not a very good deal in the end. The Fallen can be considered the true demons of World of Darkness, but the term demon is often applied to other malevolent supernatural creatures as well, including Banes, some Umbrood of the High Astral Courts, Yama Kings. We can get into this later. There's so much to go through here. I'm really excited, but I'm getting tired here. I have to take a break. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe. Really helps me out. Have a good day, guys.